Rise, you big bunch of lovely people, yeah. Okay, be seated. Never mind, never mind. Anyway, check out my fly new gear, everybody. Check this out. So I've got the wig. I've had that for a while. I broke it. No big deal. I've got the collar. I think it's called a jabot. And I've got the legit, check this out, legit judge's robe, baby. Look at that. Now, if you wanted to become a judge and not actually study law, the best way to do it is to be a YouTuber, because then you can definitely do it. Now, the other thing that I usually have that I couldn't find is my gavel. I was able to find the little plate thing that you hit with the gavel, but I couldn't find the actual gavel itself. Gavel's kind of like a little hammer, so I figured next best thing, we got a drill. That'll do. Anyway, guys, we have a really, really interesting case today. I was watching a little bit of it here earlier, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. So I decided to come on here and I would share it all with you. Now, just let me know, is my sound all good for you? And you all happy enough? So this is a live stream, sorry, a video of a live court stream from, this one comes from Old Squishy Gardener. And I love Old Squishy Gardener stuff. Old Squishy catches the best stuff ever and posts it on there. Absolutely great creator. Linked above. Definitely let them know that I sent you. Because they do a lot of hard work over there, and I really do appreciate what they do. It's great to just sit in the car and have a listen as you're driving along to all the crazies in the world. It's great to have access to live courts and things like that. It's kind of like, I don't know, how would you explain? It's kind of like live Jerry Springer, but like actual real people or whatever. So it's fantastic. So definitely check that out. People are saying my video is blurry, is it? Oh, my signal's really strong though, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll see if I can figure something out here. It might just take a little while for the camera to work out here. Whatever, we'll figure it out. We'll see once we get it up on the screen here how the other picture looks, and then we'll go. Now, just wanted to cover a few quick things before we get started. Big thank you to Armageddon Fire for the $3 super sticker. Really do appreciate that. Now, a few people had some things to say about super chats in the side chat, and I decided actually I'm just going to very briefly do some housekeeping matters before we get on to this litany of fragas that we've gone on over here. We got a guy dressed up as a pimp with one arm, and it's really, really, really interesting. So somebody was talking about how this would be a super chat laden grift. Lifesaver says another super chat filled shillfest. Sorry, lol, dude, damn. You're breaking the record of constructive super chat grifting streams and a 30-day run. Even the vid with Pops yesterday was super chat FFS, mate, get a grip. This is called YouTube, motherfucker. We do this. We enjoy doing this. People enjoy interacting with us. If you don't like it, you can get out of the court. I'll find you in contempt, you bastard. You. Nah, I'm only kidding. I don't care. Look, here's the thing. When YouTubers do content, I have said multiple times over this week that I will kind of start moving towards doing more live stream type content. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to engage live with people, and some people like to send in super chats. Now, if we turn off monetization on these videos, for example, then what ends up happening with my streams in particular is they get demonetized. Why? Because I'm Irish and I like to say fuck every now and again. So when I do that, it gets demonetized. Now, you might beg me to not say fuck. It'll still get demonetized because the kind of stuff we cover is spicy. And that's just the way it goes. Look, if you don't want to watch it, you can head on over to Old Squishy Gardeners link above and you'll be able to check that out. Now, there were some other good points raised about the amount of super chats that get read out during I was going to say during court. During streams and stuff like that. And honestly, yeah, I do tend to agree. Sometimes it can be quite irritating when you're trying to watch a stream and the super chats are breaking in all the time. And, you know, a lot of this is new to me. All right. So I haven't been streaming all that long. It's been about a year and a half, something like that. So I'm still learning. And I'm watching other creators all the time to learn from them to give the best quality live streams that I possibly can. I think that's really, really important. You have to learn from people's feedback. I mean, there's a good way and a bad way to give feedback, ultimately, but you have to learn from people's feedback, and that's what I'm trying to do every single day, trying to make myself a better creator. And you know, I do appreciate the feedback, but there's a good way and a bad way to do it. I don't understand why somebody would have an issue with a live stream being, having super chats open. For example, yesterday when I was in the car with that gentleman, I think it was like a $5 super chat came in, and that was about it, maybe $5 or $6. So I don't think it's going to ruin your viewing experience in that situation. So I think it's really, really important. Should say, Demon, don't learn. I do learn. I try my best. I don't learn everything. I've only got so much space in this massive head of mine. So the other thing then is some people recommend doing it at the end of the stream, reading out all the super chats at the end of the stream, and some people recommend reading them out as the stream goes on. So I would actually like to hear your feedback on that. I've been thinking, just pick up the important ones as you go, and then get the rest of them at the end, because I don't like not reading them out. I think that's really, really important. So anyway, guys, we're going to get on with this court case. We're going to see what this is all about. This was one of the most bizarre court cases I've ever seen. It was absolutely amazing. And yeah, so we'll see how we go here. So you guys are the jury on this one. So you're going to have to listen really, really carefully. So all good with the screen and all that kind of stuff. That's great. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the comments there. Rod Vickery, my granddad says, you look like a lot like Dolly Parton in the way. Are you trying to say I've got big chesticles? God almighty. I think I look like a feckin' Cocker Spaniel or something. God almighty. They got rid of the wigs in most courts. Some of the Irish courts still wear them, but most courts, they don't wear them anymore. But I said, you know what? We're going to go whole hog. Otherwise, I just look like a dude with a bit of a tea towel around his neck. So I said, feck it. We'll go the whole hog. I might have to take it off, though, because it's pretty feckin' hot. Anyway, let's check this out. This guy looks like a kind of a, I don't know, like old school 70s pimp in court, and it is absolutely hilarious. So check this out. This comes, as I said, from Old Squishy Gardeners channel. It's linked in the description. It's linked in the side chat at the top. You should definitely check that out. So I'm getting feedback on my microphone again. I'll try to fix that while I'm playing this here. It can be a bit weird sometimes, so we'll see how we go. But have a listen to this. Let me know how the sound is, and let me know what you guys think of it. I'm just going to actually speed it up a tiny bit because we lost a bit of time there. We'll go for 125. That doesn't make it too awkward.
Would you mind taking your hat off, please?
I will keep it on for exercising my right to religious observance.
Okay, that's fine.
Precedent under
yeah, no, I said that's fine. Yeah, I really.
It sounds really low to me as well. So just let you know.
That's totally fine if you want to keep it on for religious purposes. I'm fully aware of the precedent. I fully endorse your right to do that, and I have zero problem with that.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Voorhees, you had indicated that you filed a petition against someone named Isaac Hawks Ingers. This individual who's in front of me now, who said he was served with this paperwork, that's not him. And so, who are you, sir?
card right here, Abraham Itzhak Akiva Ghost Dance Black Hawk Calaveras. Here's my bank card from America's president.
So I just wanted to know your name.
My driver's license.
What's his name?
So it calls into question, how did this individual get this information? Because when I filed a formal complaint with UPS following his death threats, racial epithets, him calling me here, telling me he's going to come and kill me, you fucking nigger, which started.
So
Wow.
I'm just going to slow you down here for just a second, right? I'm just trying to figure out whether we have the right people in court right now, okay? And if we do, and if he's mistaken about your name and things of that sort, then we'll proceed with the case. If not, if he needs to refile it or adjust the name to, if you're the person he's talking about, but he got the wrong name, you can deal with that. And if there's somebody else and he's got you by mistake, then we'll deal with that. Now, that's all I'm trying to figure out right now as to whether or not you're the person he's talking about, what your proper name is, and whether we can go forward today or not. If we do go forward for today, then we'll get into all the things that you're talking about right now.
Racists should not be allowed to target people and use their UPS access to scrape what they believe to be residents' information. Even in his filing, it said some person named Isaac. He has no descriptors, no history, no nothing. There are no descriptive details whatsoever. He's not able to identify me whatsoever. This is not a tweaker, Your Honor. He referred to me as a tweaker. I had a much larger.
I mean, to be fair, he's not exactly a very easily identifiable person, is he? You know, with the pimp hat and all of that stuff going on. But what do you guys think?
Bandage following the amputation of this hand. I will unwrap this hand and show you.
Please don't.
I think it's critically important, Your Honor.
Okay,
I think it is critically important.
Please don't take your bandage off.
Someone said that I was waving a gun around. As a veteran, I can assure you, Your Honor, there is no weapon inside the U.S. military weapons inventory or that law enforcement has that you can use, load, and fire with only one hand. And this is my dominant right hand. I've had a 20% amputation of not only the middle finger extending all the way down here.
So
you can look at the paperwork that I signed. It looks like a drunk person signed it because I had to sign it with my left hand. I'm not capable. I'm not a threat.
Okay, please put your Band-Aid back on. Mr. Voorhees, is this the individual that you wish to have a petition against?
It is, Your Honor, and his name is in fact Isaac Ingeberts, and I've confirmed through his apartment property management that is how I gained his information with his first and last name.
Okay.
It is the policy of our apartment complex that they do not release under no circumstances names of residents. The only one that would be able to
I was
that
wondering about that
police
too.
officer.
Band-Aid.
There needed to have been a crime. There was no crime. No police officer got that. And if I may approach the bench, Your Honor,
Not yet. No, you may not right now.
Again, these
Okay.
are my names. These are all my legal formal documents.
Okay. So, all right. So here's what's going to happen here for right now. So right now you can put your bandage on, please.
I'm trying, but I
Okay.
only have one hand, Your Honor.
Okay.
And if you can imagine,
He's allowed to wear the hat
Right.
for religious
Gun,
purposes,
which I do
he
not own
claims.
or possess.
According to the police, Your Honor.
Okay,
Mr.
Mr.
Because you
Mr.
got to go
Voorhees,
work
just
on the
quiet.
corner
Yes,
after.
sir.
We're going to go back in. This gentleman is going to go back in the courtroom. He's going to take a seat in the courtroom. And then we're going to take these other cases and we'll take up your case and we'll sort all this out.
Yes, Your Honor.
And there's also a witness here, Your Honor.
Great. Then I will call, is your witness on Zoom?
Yes, David Maloney.
All right. Okay, so what is your name, sir?
Abraham Itzhak Akiva Ghost Dance Black Hawk Calaveras.
Okay. Have you ever been known by, give me just a second. In any capacity as Isaac Cox Ingeberts?
Could you please explain the reason for the question, Your Honor?
I want to know if you're the right person.
That person
Okay.
was served paperwork.
Okay.
All of this from Social Security,
Okay.
driver's license, bank
Right.
card, and VA is not that person.
Right.
We should not be allowed to target, when we are racist individuals, to target people and go harass them and try to find out a name that is not the person's name. This all began by me filing, and I submitted it to the court. And unfortunately, UPS spelled it wrong. They spelled it like Abraham. But I filed a complaint against, and I didn't know his name, Chad Voorhees. I filed a complaint against him for death threats, racial epithets, and slurs on the 24th.
Excuse me.
I submitted that to the court. I spoke to a UPS driver to find out what's the process that I need to do to file a complaint against this person. Well, I told them, well, I filed this. I don't really know the individual's name or anything. The driver said, oh, yes, we have had problems with this employee. The person's name is Chad. So I go back to follow up. I've been in and out of surgery for amputations, reconstructive surgery, et cetera, since the 10th, when I was a victim of a gunshot wound. I have not been able to follow up on this more because of that situation, because I didn't have the US DOT number, didn't have the license plate of the truck. I'd never seen Mr. Voorhees ever in my life. I've never seen him. I'm not his neighbor. There is multiple fences, a closed gate, 2 parking lots that separate our apartment complexes. When this individual says that he got this information.
Okay, so we're going to get to all that, right? I'm just trying to identify people and figure out.
Yes, Your Honor, if I may
right here.
approach, this is who I am.
I believe you, but that doesn't answer my question.
We should not be racists that are targeting people.
Okay.
And that throw pity parties when citizens make
Okay.
complaints against them.
So you can sit down, please.
Okay.
I believe you, but what's going to happen then? He does have the right to bring a petition for right or for wrong, and I'll hear it.
No descriptive, and his thing, Your Honor, it says no description. Some person named Isaac gives no description, tattoos, scars, anything. Doesn't say what the person was wearing.
Okay.
Doesn't state ethnicity. There's nothing whatsoever.
So-
He then also states that a security guard said that an individual like me is waving a gun around. No, there's no evidence. Where's that police report?
I've seen that. You don't need to do that again.
Well, it's important for me. I'm just doing it for me.
Okay.
But
You've asked other
saw it
people,
already,
right?
dude. He told you that.
Right.
Put your Band-Aid
I'm
back
gonna ask
on.
you to raise your right hand in a minute as well, and I'm going to have him raise his right hand. I'm going to listen to you both. You have Mr. Rolf Maloney here. I'll hear from him also.
David Malone.
Yeah, but I think I'm sorry if I misidentified you. I apologize. On his screen, it says Rolf Maloney hyphenated. I assume that was your last name. If I'm wrong about that, is it Mr. Maloney or Mr. Rolf Maloney? Or
Mr. Maloney kind of looks like Rasputin.
I want to address. That's all I'm trying to do with you, sir. Is trying to figure out how to address you and figure out what your name is.
Yeah, my legal last name is Rolf Maloney.
Thank you. What do you prefer?
I mean, I go by Maloney. It's fine.
Okay.
What's good, Maloney?
And so you, sir, and you said it, but I didn't write it down. I'm going to have you say it again. And what we're going to do is
That's
we'll go
terrible.
forward with this petition. We'll adjust the caption to change the name because I want the name to be accurate in the caption in the petition.
Your
See,
Honor,
that's
it
the
goes
point of my
further
question.
to suggest the stalking and harassment from this individual, that they went and scraped a name that is not my name.
Good morning, Kristen.
That's what we need to focus on, Your Honor.
Was
Is that I've proven to you what
Right.
my name is.
Well,
This
okay.
individual went and scraped, is lying and says that he went to an apartment complex, etc. Those things all are indicative of the stalking and harassment, that he was taking further steps to follow through on his threat to come over to my house and shoot you, you fucking.
Okay. So the only thing here today is his petition.
I haven't been able to file petitions because the city of Olympia won't even let me file a petition against the person that shot me because I don't have their name, Your Honor.
You can file a petition here if you wish.
Against the person that shot me?
No, this is the only thing in front of me. This is a civil case between you and Mr.
And then I haven't
Voorhees.
been able to also follow up because I've been in surgeries,
Okay.
reconstructive surgeries, amputation.
Is that your request to ask to file one?
He needs, yes, and I also want to file charges against filing a false police report.
Okay, so that again, that's not.
Hello, Damian
Targeting,
Paxton.
harassment, death threats. I haven't been able to do that.
Sustained.
There's a double standard in this town when it comes to people that look like me.
Sorry, I got to
This
take a phone
individual
call.
never should have been able to pursue this, Your Honor. None of the information is correct. He's given no clear indicators of who actually ever was, what I was dressed like, nothing. Yet I can tell you that he has a Belgian Malinois, which he's threatened to sick on me. I can tell you his DOT plate number, etc. Witnesses that were there to even see, and Mr. David Maloney was there. Chad was saying, "No, I'm not Chad," as he threw around his packages, came over to my apartment complex. If he's so afraid of me, Your Honor, what is he doing over at my apartment complex, delivering packages to my apartment complex? We came around the corner and we were afraid because here is this white man who's calling me a faggot, saying that he's going to come over and kill me, threatening to sick his dog on me. And I was sitting there after amputation with an even bigger bandage on, clearly a threat to no one whatsoever. And this immediately followed after his employers talked to him about the complaint that was filed. And UPS has me on there with the correct name.
Okay.
They just spelled it wrong. They spelled it like Abram.
So I'm going to try and explain this to you as best I can. Okay. And
You referred to about gossip. Well, this is gossip and hearsay for this individual to be claiming, oh, a security guard saw. Well, let's see the
I'm
police
going
report.
to explain this to you as best I can.
Sorry about that,
And
guys. Just like
hopefully
to quick
we can
call.
get some common understanding of what's going to happen today or what's going to happen going forward. So again, I would ask you please to let me complete this explanation. Okay. So Mr. Voorhees, if I'm saying his name correctly, he
Yes,
brought
Your
an
Honor.
anti-harassment petition against you, which he can do. And I have no idea how he got your name, but you clearly, based on what I've heard from him briefly, you're the person who's he has an issue with, for right or for wrong. And I'm not deciding right now whether he's right or he's wrong or not. I don't know that. And so the only thing in front of me here right now is his petition for an anti-harassment order. And the way these things work is I'll swear him in, I'll have him raise his right hand, and then I'll hear from him. I'll swear you in, and I've already heard a lot from you, but none of it's been under oath yet, but I'm going to swear you in. I'll hear all that again, your testimony. At the conclusion of that, I'll decide whether or not an order should be entered in favor of Mr. Voorhees. I'll also hear from Mr. Maloney. I'll swear him in, and then I'll get his perspective on what he saw and things of that sort. Following that, I make a determination as to whether or not an order should be entered with him on his behavior against you, basically just to have you not contact
Good to see you, Nikki.
My purpose in asking you the questions about your name is because if an order is entered, it should be under the correct name for law enforcement going forward. And sometimes people change their names, and for all kinds of reasons. They change their name when they get married, they change their name or what have you. And I'm asking you that just to see if that's, you know, there's some basis for him to be mistaken about what your name is at the moment. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to figure out who's all here. So you have said some things you've been prevented. First of all, I'm sorry about, you know, again, I'm not a doctor. That does look, as far as I'm concerned, and I have no idea about anything about this. But to me, to the untrained eye, that looks like a pretty fresh and pretty significant injury. I agree with that.
That's a great idea, Vidas.
Pretty recent. And unless remember what I said about not interrupting, please let me finish. Okay. Unless Mr. Voorhees, and you said, well, you can't hold a gun because of that. But unless Mr. Voorhees was the one person who shot you and so forth, that really, the only thing that I'm concerned about is what happened or was alleged to have happened between you and Mr. Voorhees. You've made a number of comments about things that I think he disagrees with, just based on, he said some things you clearly disagree with. There's no question about that. You're saying some things, if I read his facial expression, that he clearly disagrees with. So I hear from you both, and then I have to decide, you know, what to do based on what's presented. You gave some indication of, and the only thing in front of me here right now is a petition, his petition. And you've said you've been from they don't do anti-harassment orders. I have no idea what the circumstances are around. I'd not even known. I didn't even know who you were before you walked in here, and I certainly didn't know anything about this injury before you took your bandage off and started showing this to me. And I have no idea.
It's a bandage, Judge. Other judge, I should say.
Do anything about it? I don't know anything about that. It wouldn't be the City of Olympia anyway. It'd probably be the Thurston County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, because a wound like that, City of Olympia only deals with misdemeanors or gross misdemeanors, but that looks a little bit far beyond that if a criminal act occurred, and that'd be with the Thurston County Prosecutor's Office. So there's that. So what I need to know from you is what, and I'm going to have you identify yourself again. I'm going to write that down, just to make sure we have the right person here. And so the options today.
Take care, buddy. See you later.
I'll hear his testimony. I'll hear your testimony. I'll hear Mr. Maloney's testimony. And then, and by the way, in looking through this, I didn't actually see, unless I saw a bunch of pictures of the, someone who I assume was Mr. Voorhees, and there's a pictures of the truck and so forth. And I'd like to see where the complaint is. You said you'd made a complaint to
UPS yes. On the 24th.
Okay. So what I need to know on the 24th of October or September?
September.
Thank you. Give me just a minute.
Mr. Maloney looks like a guy who'd be able to tell you where to get some good jerky.
I filed that complaint.
No, with the court. Did you file it with the court?
No, I never filed with the complaint. I've been in and out of hospital. Okay. I filed that with UPS.
All right.
You don't file with UPS.
They encouraged me to follow up and get the deal. If I saw.
Okay, so hang on. I'm just going to stop you. I just wanted. I misunderstood you when you say you filed the complaint. I thought it was filed in the court so I could see it. I would be curious to see it. But anyway, so the issue today is we're going to go forward with this single petition. Or you said
Jesus, Millar coming in hard there, boyo. I'm going to read them at the end, unless it says objection. I meant to say that at the start.
Okay.
Now I'm going to be doing a regular court show every Thursday. Well, I think it's going to be every Thursday with a panel of guests who are going to play different parts and all of this kind of thing. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to read out all super chats at the end. And unless those super chats have the word objection at the start, if you want to stop the video to say something in particular, then we'll take those objections.
Okay, so
thank you, sir.
Where I'm at here.
Sustained.
And if you want time to create a course of action, then I'll allow that. Or we're just going to hear this single petition here today.
I don't understand what you mean by course of action.
Well, you've said some things you wanted to do but haven't been allowed to because of your surgery. I'm going to give you, and again, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to give you advice. But there's some certain things you said you wanted to do, but haven't been able to do given your, and if I might ask, and I apologize if I'm intruding, when was your surgery on that hand? It looks to me really recent.
I was airlifted September 9th following getting shot in a road rage incident west side of Olympia. That individual still has not been arrested. I've come to accept that with my skin
Okay,
color.
again,
I
I
would be
just
denied
want,
certain
I
things.
just want to know when
I
this
had a
happened.
surgery on the 11th. I had a surgery on the 24th. I had a surgery on like the 3rd or 4th. So I'm now down to the
Excuse me.
partial amputation of 20% of the hand, and hopefully I'm done with surgeries.
So what do you, and again, I need some direction from
Grounds.
you as to where you want to proceed here today.
I want
The
you
only
to-
thing I'm deciding today is if we proceed is whether or not Mr. Voorhees gets an order, and that's it.
I want you to dismiss
That's
this
not going
based
to
on a
happen.
complete lack of evidence.
No, that's not going to happen.
There is no evidence, Your Honor. It has not met the benchmark and the threshold of evidence needed. The person did not provide the correct name.
So hang
The
on,
person did not.
just a minute. Okay, so if we want.
What difference does his skin color make?
I'll hear the
Just out of
testimony. If
interest.
I decide at the inclusion of the testimony from him, and I'll swear in, I'll hear from him, and then I'll hear from you. Then I'll decide whether or not an order is appropriate or not. And Mr. Maloney, I don't mean to cut you out there, Mr. Maloney. I'll hear from you too. Then I decide. But just to dismiss it right now at the start is not. And if he had the wrong name, he had the right person. You're the person he wanted.
Who is
And
the
so
right person,
the-
Your Honor? There were no descriptors.
What's that?
There was no descriptors given, not of clothing, not of ethnicity, not of height, not of any visible identifying thing.
Okay.
None whatsoever. Your
He's
Honor.
saying right now, when I asked him, this is the guy. This is the guy I wanted. This is the guy I wanted the order against. And to me, that's identification enough. And if the name on it is wrong, and clearly it is, we'll change that name and have the right name on it if it's if the order is granted. So again, those are your options here today. Is it will proceed on this thing when I take the testimony from the three folks who are here, or we'll reissue the temporary order has been issued. We'll reissue the temporary order. We'll reissue for 2 weeks to give you a chance to pursue some more options, and then we'll go from there. I'll hear from everybody, and I'll make a decision.
We can move forward.
All
I
right.
now just have this person's name, so
So Mr. Voorhees, could you raise your right hand?
I'm asking. The reason I was asking about the skin color thing, I might have missed specifically how racism came into it here. I mean, I don't want to get into a debate about it here or anything, but he hasn't really shown how that's the case. But maybe he will. Maybe he will. We'll see how we go.
Please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. And I'm going to ask you, could you please repeat your full name again? I apologize for not writing it down.
which name, Your Honor?
The name-
the live, because you brought me into your courtroom
Right.
under a name. So
Right.
why aren't we running with that name, Your Honor?
Because you said that's not your name.
Exactly, Your
Right.
Honor.
So but I want to get your appropriate name.
So I, with my skin color, can I just go out in the community, pick some white person doing something to me, make up a name, and then get a restriction?
Hold on a second. Just now I get it. Okay, now I get it. So is he claiming he's not a white man? Is it, or like I can't really see his features, but just from what I see, he looks whiter than I do. So, and I'm from Ireland, so I'm as white as you get, like basically. I'm just looking like at his hand color, his face color. So what so is he claiming that? I don't know, man. Let's listen on. Fuck it.
Order against them, because I can't even get that with the person that shot me, Your Honor.
Are you going to tell me your name or not?
My name is Abraham Itzhak Akiva.
Okay, so slow down,
Ghost
please.
dance.
I need to write that down. I can't
I
write
don't
as
know. I
fast
don't
as
think
you
I agree that there
I
is
can
even
write
a
it
thing
all
called
over
reverse racism. It
And
either
then
is or it isn't.
Abraham
Abraham?
Itzhak Akiva. Ghost dance.
Okay, a second. I'm not that fast.
So now we're
Abraham,
giving my stalker my name.
Isaac,
Akiva, Ghost Dance, Black Hawk, Calaveras.
Faking from Oliver Twist. Oh, is he saying he's
Not
Native
some
American?
person
Is it?
named Isaac, which is what he filed the restraining order.
and that will get that changed.
It literally says some person named Isaac, Your Honor. He wrote that, some person named Isaac.
Okay, so Mr. Voorhees, could you raise your right hand, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
So he's claiming the hat is
Okay,
for
so,
religious
how
purposes,
it that
which
you
is
need,
legal for
an order
him
against
to
this
do.
individual?
So, Your Honor, I live in an apartment complex that's
Excuse
a secure gated community that butts up directly to his apartment complex. His actions have become, well, they've not been around lately. But prior to the restraining order being requested,
a good
the
question,
individual in
Byron, Expo.
question has been verbally harassing. The individual has threatened to shoot me on a couple different occasions. The individual has made very, very concerning and
Specifically,
threatening.
with regard to the verbal harassment, what has been said?
Has called me a white honky through the fence, has told me that my dog ain't shit and that he will send his dog on me like he did the last person, and his dog has hurt the last person.
Come on, my little dog,
that was very
boy.
concerning to me. He said that he would come over to my apartment, and when I am either here or not here, and kick my door in. That was concerning to me. For one, nobody really knows what my apartment number is over here for that, and if he were to find that out, that would be, pretty concerning to me, because that would not be a healthy decision on, somebody's part. At the same time, there's also been threats made against me while I was working UPS. I heard this through the grapevine from another driver. This individual that is in your courtroom that is claiming that he is not Isaac Ingberts. Prior to his road rage incident, he apparently approached our UPS truck that was blocking in, I guess, his red car is what the driver described it as, and slammed his fist into the side of the truck and started yelling at the driver to move his fucking truck so that he could get out. And the driver said, "I'll be just a minute. I've got a package to deliver to the locker box." Turns out, according to this driver, the apartment that the individual in your courtroom came out of is overlooking the mailboxes, the package locker boxes that are right there. And it also overlooks my apartment complex and right where we walk all of our dogs and let our dogs go to the bathroom in the dog park. The individual has, made no attempt to even remotely de-escalate his actions with any UPS driver or UPS truck since that incident before he got shot. After he got shot, I guess, he has been very verbally aggressive towards other UPS drivers, according to multiple drivers. And then on September...
That's a great comment.
Pardon me, Your Honor, while I pull it up here. On September 27th at 11:52 a.m., I was delivering...
Hang on, just talk for a minute. He asked if this was submitted to the court, and no, he's here for testimony. I've sworn him in. I'll hear his sworn testimony, and I'll hear yours when he's done. You may continue there, Mr. Voorhees.
Hey.
Fucking ads.
Of equity commerce.
I just hope I don't get copywritten for that. Sorry, OSG.
11:52 a.m. I'm a UPS driver. I don't get to choose, where I deliver packages and where I don't, based off of, who may or may not live at an address or be at an address or be at a business. It is my job to deliver packages where the packages are mailed to. And on this date, on September 27th at 11:52, I had a whole bunch of next day air packages that have to have been delivered by noon. I was there delivering packages. And while I was accessing the locker box with my truck parked right there next to the locker box, the individual in your courtroom that claims he is not Mr. Isaac Hawks Ingeberts,
likewise, bro,
came around the side of the mailbox with the individual that is also, his witness or whatever the category is.
What's premium?
And immediately started saying, "Are you Chad? Are you Chad?" And, out of my safety, considering the fact that I had already been informed by the Olympia police that he, had a very lengthy history with them, and that he was notorious for being very violent, and that he does carry a weapon, and that he has not been known to show restraint with that weapon. Out of my concerns for my safety, I had started denying, "No, I am not Chad. You got the wrong person." His individual, Mr. David Maloney, proceeded to pull out a video phone and start video recording me. And then Mr. Isaac Hawkingsberts then informed him, "Go Facebook Live, put this on Facebook Live. We need to expose this racist." And started becoming more verbally confrontational with me right there. It is our UPS policy as a UPS driver that if we are threatened or confronted while on road by anybody, we are to immediately leave the area, which is what I did. I immediately began gently placing the boxes back inside of the cab of the truck. I didn't even put them behind the bulkhead door like we're supposed to. Put them in the passenger compartment of the truck, stepped over the boxes, immediately fired the truck and drove around the corner, immediately notifying my UPS supervisor and our UPS security team, who all advised me to sheet the packages as emergency conditions to where we are not delivering the packages that day. I was able to meet up with a maintenance supervisor and a maintenance worker from the apartment complex who actually witnessed his actions at that time and witnessed Mr. Isaac's actions in previous incidences when he would be yelling at either me through the fence or other people on the property or outside of the property, and becoming becoming verbally aggressive and verbally threatening towards other individuals besides me. Maintenance supervisors also stated that they have witnessed him become verbally and physically aggressive with other UPS trucks.
Oh yeah,
and
heading
verbally
away for that
aggressive
in a
with
couple
UPS
hours.
drivers and FedEx drivers also. So I immediately, left the area. We sheeted the packages as naked conditions, and I informed the Olympia police, who
Cheers,
then
Colin.
said that yes, they are very well aware of him. They are currently trying to figure out how to get him the help that he needs, is what the officer was telling me. And I was a little, put off by that, because normally police officers don't share that. But apparently this officer has a very, extensive history of interactions with him. And the officer went on to tell me that the road rage incident where he was actually shot by somebody after he, got into an accident with the individual.
I'm not really interested in that there, Mr. Voorhees. I don't want to hear about it from
Your
Mr.
Honor.
Okay, so please.
Your Honor.
Please. Okay, hang on, just Mr.
Yes, sir.
Voorhees.
Yes, sir.
That's just really not in front of me. I want to know about the interaction between you and him, what you've described.
Yes,
So
sir.
Continue.
That's basically the gist of it, Your Honor. Ever since then, I have seen Mr. Isaac walking around the property, and upon me seeing him, I still try to go the other way. He has repeatedly, since that incident, approached other residents in my complex, tried to make small talk with them. And then upon the small talk, then he tries to, nudge them for information as to my whereabouts, or tries to spread false information about me to them, which the individuals that he is talking to are all Army vets. Two of them are actually active duty special operations. I am former Army, and I did a different job in the Army for a very long time before I broke my back and my neck and was forced into medical retirement. So as a result, these individuals have individually approached me or even called my cell phone after the interactions that they have had. And they have said, we are very concerned for your safety based off of hearing how he is talking. And we think that he is, got a couple screws loose, and that we want you to watch your back, because he is not somebody that I would trust to have,
Don't
behind
think
you.
the guy has any screws.
He has said some things, and I'm going to swear him in. I'll hear from him in a minute about racially charged terms you have used. Could you address that?
That is completely false and inaccurate, Your Honor. I was raised in the system in Alaska, so I grew up in the foster system. I had 18 different foster homes in my entire childhood, and of those 18, 9 of them were African-American or even Islander homes. My last foster family, who actually ended up adopting me before I was 18, are African-American, and they actually live here in Washington now. They moved here once I got permanently stationed here after retirement. And this is where they live. They are my family. So under any circumstances, I would never use any racial slurs. For one, my integrity. For two, it's not the way I was raised. And for three, it's just completely immorally wrong.
Well said. Very well said.
So, Mr.
Just going to read this real quick. Justin says, demon having burner accounts is something a mafia, something a mafia has, a troll mafia, that is. What are you going to do about it?
Mr. Calaveras, could you raise your right hand, please?
High five.
You swear to affirm the information.
You don't need to take all that shit off, do you?
Nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. And now I'll hear from you.
Your Honor, we shouldn't reward people for sociopathic, lying, stalking, harassing. This individual is retaliating for me filing a complaint.
Well, that's what I was asking. Let me ask you this. What was the substance of your complaint? I still don't know that.
The substance of my complaint was this individual made death threats against me. This person said, when I finish my shift, I'm going to come over and kill you. This person repeatedly called me a tweaker. Said to me, do you know what a attack dog is? I'm going to send this dog at you and I'm going to fuck you up, referring to his Belgian Malinois. This individual can't even describe what my dog is. Can't describe what I was wearing, but I know exactly what he was wearing. His uniform said Chad. It's a brown uniform, Belgian Malinois, 2 other smaller dogs. I am not his neighbor. There's multiple fences that separate us. He was in.
And I was curious about that. I was going to ask him, but I'll ask you. So you're on different apartment complexes?
2 completely different apartment
Okay.
complexes.
So can you see? Okay, hang on a second. I'll let you finish in a minute, but I'm just curious, and maybe I should have asked him this. But I mean, can sometimes you see each other through fences
No.
and so forth?
Until that
Oh,
morning.
like a
I'd
couple
never
of
seen
fucking
this
Jack
person
Russell
again.
Terriers.
Until the morning of the 27th, I didn't see that person again, and I've not seen them since then. So
Can you
there's
send
no
me that
arrest. I
suggestion
have
again,
no
G.I. Joel?
way of
Appreciate it,
knowing who
man.
This person was whatsoever. Another one of his lies that is patently false that should be stressed is, if this is where the UPS box is, this is C building where I am. My apartment does not look over. There's no way for me to see anywhere. My building looks this way. That's how I became startled when I came out the door with David Maloney, come around the corner. Whoa, here's the person who I filed a complaint against for saying that he's going to shoot. I'm going to shoot you, you fucking.
So hang on,
Regardless,
I
if
have
someone
a
come
question
over
about
to your
that.
house.
Did he just say that out of the blue?
I told him what he had done is he had kicked his dog, and I was like, "Hey, man, you don't need to kick your dog. I love dogs. I have 2 dogs, a litter of 9 puppies that were born on the 3rd." This whole thing started with me being like, "Hey, you don't need to kick your dog." I wasn't like, "Motherfucker, don't kick." I was like, "You don't need to kick your dog," and he went unhinged at me. He went completely unhinged at me, and I was just standing shocked because I just got shot less than 2 weeks ago. Just come off the surgery table, have a huge bandage on my hand, and I'm just like, "How unhinged is this person?" This
So hang on
person
just
is
a
in
second, I'm gonna stop
uniform.
again. So was this just an incredible coincidence then that he showed up delivering those packages on the?
Yes, and to me it was very startling because I come around the corner. There's no way for me to know that he's there around the corner. My apartment does not look over towards the other complex, doesn't look over Amazon Hub. We come around the corner, and that's why I grabbed David and was like, "David, please film this," because I'm a little bit traumatized. I just got shot by somebody.
Was there
I didn't have
sound?
this person
Was there
here.
sound in the film? I saw some filming. I
There
didn't hear
there
anything.
is sound in the film.
Okay.
There is sound in the film, Your
Right.
Honor.
Go ahead, continue on.
So there is and then a lot of stuff that he has been saying is gossip and hearsay. Just as you were excluding it from the others, it's very important that this gossip and hearsay, he's alleging things that would amount to crimes. That someone that has his privilege, the privilege of being white, the privilege of being able to file restraining orders against people that not even having the right names, that he definitely would have filed, saying that someone's going around shooting guns, that there's all these violent histories, encounters with the police. Your Honor, I challenge you to pull up my criminal record. No felonies. I'm retired military. No felonies. I have a misdemeanor, which may or may not be expunged from, I believe, 24 years ago in Michigan. Other than that, there is none. So if someone is going around that looks like me, pulling guns on people, pulling guns on security. Oh, also I challenge him to find that traffic report of the collision. I would love it because then I could file for personal injury because when someone put a bullet into me and a bullet in my car insurance doesn't cover it because that was an external act. There was no car crash. So he's making up things and trying to create a characterization that just simply is not true, which further goes to show his racism, his targeting, his stalking, which is why I filed the complaint on the 24th.
So this guy, he goes and he causes all these issues though, right? Like, I mean, he's the one going out there starting shit with people. Oh my God. Anyway, moving on.
Mr. Voorhees, I'm going to come back to you. What this complaint? Tell me about that.
Oh, me too,
What is
Papa.
What's your perspective on that?
Are you talking to me, Your Honor?
Yes.
This is the first that I'm hearing about a complaint when he had mentioned that, supposedly my supervisors had talked to me. My supervisors and nobody within UPS had even heard of this individual until the 27th, when I informed our security team and our immediate chain of command supervisors of the situation that had just transpired. At which point they had all told me, leave the area, follow protocol. And on that exact day, I was able to take a picture of Mr. Isaac with my cell phone due to the fact that his friend.
In the file, there's video there, which looks like you didn't have a beard at the time. It looks like to me.
I had just done a clean shave, Your Honor.
Yeah, and so someone taking a picture. There's video, and I didn't realize there was sound of the video. I did see the video, but anyway. Anything further there, Mr. Calaveras?
UPS customer service, September 24th. This is something that I've applied to. Here's the case, and they spelled it wrong, but Abraham. Here's the case number conversation today. Case number C-0114821-263. Sincerely, Quantine T, UPS customer care representative. And again, Your Honor, that was on the 24th. That was filed against this individual. This is what initiated and prompted it. And UPS encouraged me to follow up and contact them immediately, contact law enforcement immediately, and if need be, if this person came back around and that protocol was to get the DOT number, get the license plate number, and they would assist me. And this racist here filed apparently on the 28th.
Objection.
I didn't receive service until several weeks later.
Hold on.
Because I've
The
been
judge
in
doesn't
the
have to object to
hospital.
himself.
I've been spending
Don't you be saying that. That doesn't help at all.
3 to 4 days a week with infectious diseases in Seattle, etc. I have not sought out this person, etc., etc. The individual that he's describing,
Sustained.
the character,
just saying words.
etc. that he's describing, this person would have gone after that person. This person would have done all these things, but it never happened because that is not me.
Bugsy Malone.
He is lying. He is patently lying. He is acting juvenile. I intend to file following whatever your decision is.
That's actually a really good question. Does absolutely any single person here believe Hat Guy? I'm just going to call him Hat Guy because his name's, half a book long. 1 for yes, you believe him. 2 for no. I'm going to go straight to. Oh wait, no, I can't say anything from the bench.
Now that I do have this person's name, to file a protection order, and I hope that I come back here before you, and I hope that I'm given the same weight as these white men that continue to target, harass, literally shoot me.
And Mr.
And get away
Voorhees
with
didn't
it.
shoot you, so just.
No, he didn't shoot me, but he threatened to shoot me. And I believe that when I pursue this further, that threat still is not erased. As he said when he was in his sworn testimony to you, that it would not be good for someone if they
Did you just say sworn testament?
Because of his weapons, because of his dogs, because of his history of violence as a bounty hunter.
All right, let me mute that for a sec while we're on the ad. So I think he said his history of testament. His in his earlier testament or whatever. This guy clearly knows what's going on. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think is going on here? Do you think the guy's just a complete whack job, or what just happened to my voice, man? Do you think he's a complete whack job? Maybe I just need to start breaking into song more often. I don't know. When I was walking around the house earlier and I didn't have this bit on, I felt like I was in fucking Sister Act or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. This guy, I think he's just creating these dramatic incidences. And you're saying I'm still blurry. How blurry are we talking? Or is that just you, I wonder? Maybe it is just my slow ass internet. I'm definitely ordering my Starlink. I just need to sort out some stuff with one of my buddies first. So I haven't decided. We might be sharing it or something, so we're gonna wait and see. But anyway, let's get back into this. And oh my god, I had a cold, but now I've got really bad hay fever again. They're all working. You might hear the tractors here in the background. They're working in the yards outside, and they're kicking up all sorts of dust and stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a long weekend. It's going to be a long, rough weekend for me.
Let me hear from Mr. Maloney. Mr. Maloney, could you unmute yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
Could you raise your right hand, please? You swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead, sir. What do you know about all this?
Well, so on the day, I believe it was the 24th, the day in question. So I was over there helping my friend Abraham do stuff around the house, do some cleaning, with his limited mobility due to the wound that he sustained. He's needed a little bit of extra help. So I showed up and was just there helping him as a friend. And we came out of his apartment.
We have an objection. Sorry, let me just roll it back here. Objection. Tina Flores says for $5. Objection, Judge Demon. I'm going to need a copy of your oath of office. Okay, hold on. Let me just. So I okay, I'm out. Got a dip. They're on to me. They're on to me. I think she's just realized I'm not a real judge, everybody. Uh-oh. Thank you so much for your objection, Tina. I don't have it with me. It's in the mail. There we go. It's in the mail. That's where my oath of office is. Hope that helps.
My friend Abraham do stuff around the house, do some cleaning, with his limited mobility due to the wound that he sustained. He's needed a little bit of extra help. So I showed up and was just there helping him as a friend. And we came out of his apartment complex, which I will also say does not overlook the packaging, the mailboxes like Mr. Voorhees claimed. It does, it's nearby, but there's no way to see it from his apartment or anything like that. So we were walking out, from his apartment, and I noticed how shocked my friend was when he sees this individual, and he's kind of, I was like, what's going on? I was kind of confused. What's going on right now? So he asked me if I would take pictures of, the markings on the vehicle, the license plate number, the truck number and whatnot, to follow up on the complaint that he was making with UPS about the situation that had previously happened.
You do look blurry to me.
And so I was like, okay, yep, I got you. I'll take the pictures. And I noticed that, as I'm taking the pictures, my friend, he's asking him, hey, are you Chad? And, like Mr. Voorhees already stated that he was denying that he was Chad. So my friend Ghost is like, yeah, well, I know, I'm pretty sure you're him. Like, you're the guy that threatened me. And he started talking about that stuff, just like he stated in the courtroom already. So I noticed that Mr. Voorhees was getting irritated, I guess. Like he pulled his phone out at one point just while I was taking pictures. Never did we ever approach him. He had plenty of space there. And I go to take a picture of the truck number on the side of his truck, which he pulls his phone out and acts like I'm getting ready to assault him. He's like, get away from me, get away from me, get away from me, like that. And I was like, man,
get away from me, crazy lady.
Stated, I'm just getting the truck number. I'm not invading your space. And I walked away at that moment. Then I noticed that, so then that's when my friend asked me to start recording, which I did. And I'm the one that recorded the video and the pictures that were submitted. And in the video, you can see Mr. Voorhees actually goes in his truck and starts slamming packages, and you can hear it in the audio. So he says, I went in there and calmly placed the packages. No, he was throwing those packages into his truck, and you can hear it in the audio from that video. What I noticed was just like his behavior seemed off. This Chad Voorhees, his behavior seemed off from the jump. You know, he was definitely agitated, like aggressive in his demeanor, and you know, and then in the video it goes on to explain, because my friend Ghost, he's the one that's talking in the video, explaining to UPS. I mean, this isn't for the courts or anybody else. It's just to UPS so that they can have all the information about the previous encounter in which the guy, you know, threatened to sick his dog on him, threatened to shoot him, said racial slurs to him. And that's all calmly stated in the video. It's not like, my friend does not sound unhinged. He's just calmly stating what had already occurred, and he wanted it documented along with the license plate number, truck number, and whatnot. So I mean, that was
not.
And you know, then he after Mr. Voorhees threw all the packages back into the truck. You know, like I said, you can hear it on the video, him slamming things around. Then you know, then he speeds off and goes his own way. But I also, I mean, I guess just I heard it mentioned throughout this thing is, you know, there was never any weapon there. You know, there was like, so he said like he claimed he saw a weapon, but then his only claim that he made was that, well, the police said that something about a weapon. So he doesn't sound like he actually ever saw a weapon ever, but he's putting that into the claim. So I just wanted to note that as well.
I mean, he's got a point. Hat Guy is clearly very well put together. Now I'm going to ask for some preliminary decisions here in the side chat. You might see that there has now been a poll entered. So I want to hear what you guys think before we get to the end of this video.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And I've been sent my oath of
Your
office
Honor,
that I have to reread, apparently.
The weapon reference, that's just from things you've heard from others?
That's things I've heard from others. Even my own apartment manager, who now manages this apartment complex, used to be the property manager over there. Even she has verbally told me that yes, he has multiple guns, and yes, he has walked around the apartment complex with the gun in his hand. And every time that we have tried to get the police to do something about it, they will not show up for it. In regards to Mr. Maloney saying,
go ahead.
In regards to Mr. Maloney saying that he did not invade my space, Your Honor, the package box is roughly no more than 4 feet from the curb, and the truck is parked up against the curb. So by him saying that they did not invade my space, Your Honor, he came within 2 feet of my person, at which point I did tell them to please back away.
Oh yeah, I should have actually made that point.
I also informed them, if I remember correctly, that I did not wish to be video or photographed.
Tough shit, public place. Just going to put that out there. Is sweet fuck all you can do about it.
Informed them, if I remember correctly, that I did not wish to be video or photographed.
Tough shit.
At which point they still proceeded to do. And also, in regards to UPS supposedly saying that they know T number, Your Honor, all of our trucks are so GPSed that, pardon my French in advance, but they have so many sensors in these trucks that they could probably tell how loud my burp is when I burp when I'm driving.
That's not French.
The dyads, little handheld computers we have, are also GPSed down to the foot. So all he would have to do in past situations that anybody has ever had with any driver with UPS is they make a complaint and then tell them what address. And UPS is able to pull up the exact driver down to the foot.
Mr. Calaveras, I'll give you the final word here. Anything you'd like to say at this time?
To my knowledge, there is not a single non-white judge in the county. To my knowledge, there is less than 1% of the police force that is not white. To my knowledge and experience,
that has nothing to do with this.
I had multiple death threats multiple times guns pulled on me. I've even been shot by white men. And I'm continually denied justice. And yet, it seems that as long as someone looks like me, a white man can pull me into a courtroom for anything, hearsay.
Lads, am I tripping, or is this guy also white? Like, I'm not trying to start a fucking, a debate or, any of that kind of stuff. But is this is a white guy, right? The guy that's talking right now. I'm just being real. Like, literally every single man on that screen right there is a white dude, right? Like, I mean, the guy in the bottom right, yeah, he might be Rasputin's grandson. This guy here kind of looks a little bit like Freddie Mercury. And this guy, different story altogether. This guy looks like something straight out in the 1950s. Like, I don't know, man. I'm tripping.
Making up weapons that are never found, never procured, that are not on my criminal record. There isn't a criminal record. So when he's saying hearsay of police said this, police said this, police said this, police said this. This is Olympia, Washington. Cops arrest people that look like me. Cops shoot people that look like me if they have skateboards. Cops deny justice.
Oh, he's Native American.
Like if I had pulled a gun on Mr. Voorhees, my apartment manager, etc., I would be arrested, Your Honor. There have been other times when people have tried to do the same thing, and yet there is not that criminal record because I haven't done it.
Oops.
And so here I am again in front of you because of hearsay and gossip from a juvenile, racist child, petulant child that can't take being held accountable by a person of color saying, do not hit your dog. And then when that person makes death threats, articulates those threats, comes over to the apartment, even if in the course of work, after someone has filed a complaint, that just goes to show that this person am not the threat. I've spent the last month in and out of surgery, amputation, time with infectious diseases, etc. And all this time, that person's still alive. There's been no more contact. There wasn't no contact order that was ever served to me, yet he's safe. I'm not the unhinged person here. It's a person, the petulant, racist child over there on video making these false claims that is the problem. Had I been able to utilize my white privilege and go and cry wolf to people, illegally access their mailboxes, etc., and get their names, I would have filed a restraining order a long time against this individual. He needs to be held accountable. He should be held accountable for making false statements. I want to know where the police number is, where he called the police and said, there's a black or Hispanic man walking around with a gun that threatened to kill me. They don't exist, Your Honor. These things do not exist. And they should exist because these are crimes, serious crimes if I really did that, and yet they don't exist because they did not happen. If he was so terrified for his life, he would have done those things, and yet he did not.
Okay. So, Mr. I
wanted to, but I couldn't because I didn't have his name.
Okay. Well, Mr. Voorhees, you wanted to say something?
Yes, Your Honor. I wanted to mention one final thing that I forgot to mention here, but I wanted to reiterate with him saying that he doesn't have weapons. The Olympia police is well aware, and the court should be well aware that he has weapons. I
have no way of knowing that.
Your Honor, he has had a weapon that was seized by the police with a search warrant due to one of his incidences, and it was recently returned to him.
I would have no way of knowing that.
Your Honor, once again, hearsay.
Please don't interrupt, okay? I'm talking to him. He didn't interrupt you. He just indicated he wanted to be heard.
I mean, it is here.
Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. His weapon was recently returned to him, and this was coming directly from the police officer who filed the charges with the prosecutor's office, who informed me when I noticed him in my apartment complex following up on a separate incident. And I had asked him, I said, hey, have you guys managed to serve Mr. Isaac Cox Ingeberts yet? And he says, no, we're working on that, but you need to be very careful because the powers that be that determine whether or not to give the weapons back has chosen to give him his gun back.
Your Honor?
Go ahead.
I do not own any weapons. Your Honor, he's not able to state the name of the officer. He's not able to state the name, make, or model, serial number of the weapon. No description. Again, no description. When he filed, he had zero description of me, my person, what I was wearing.
Come on, in reality, like, you're not going to go, excuse me, just before you shoot me there, sir, can I just check the make, model, and serial number of your firearm?
When he filed, he had zero description of me, my person, what I was wearing.
Bruh.
Nothing. Zero description, Your Honor. Continues to go by hearsay. Continues to say that I was arrested for this crime or this crime or this crime or this crime or this crime, yet they don't exist. These crimes do not exist. Hearsay and gossip from a racist, petulant child who made death threats and doesn't want to be held accountable for the fact that he was spoken to by his employers, and he knows that there is now another witness who knows that he's the individual that did this and that we have his US DOT number, etc. But I haven't even been able to follow up on that, even having that information, because I can't even type, Your Honor. I have to voice to text things. It's difficult to drive. I'm not even supposed to be driving. But he continues to make up things, yet there is no public record for these crimes. Everything that he has said, those are felony charges. You don't get away with committing those type of felonies in an all-white town with all-white judges and all-white police when you look like me. There's a reason I made it to 43-year-old man, college graduate. I was enrolled in graduate school working on my master's in public administration until I got shot. I'm retired military, Your Honor. Honorably.
They both
retired.
are, as far as I'm aware.
No.
I gotta just mute it there for a second. Let me just grab some of these super chats while we're just going through the ad break there. I will get the ad blocker in the future, I think. Sorry, we got UGA Jeremy for $10 says, here's a super chat just because that other dummy got mad about them. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that very much indeed. We got Pedro O'Shaughnessy. I hope I'm saying it right for the Americans out there. I had this argument with somebody last night because she also says her name wrong, but that's another story. Pedro O'Shaughnessy says there, here's to naughty language and spicy content. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Keep your food spicy and your content spicier. Mr. Malort for $5 says, you need my whiny liberal views on this. And where's me jumper? I haven't had a chance to get the jumper yet. I haven't been anywhere in the country that I kind of would have liked to have been lately. Fatal Bunny, but I will get it. I will get it. They're running out of sheep, though. That's the only thing. But you're looking great, by the way, might I add. Fatal Bunny for $2 says, he looks like a Batman villain. I was thinking that exact same thing. He really, really does. All right, we got Venom Rosie for $2 with no message. Thank you so much, Venom Rosie. Appreciate that. And then we got Judy Lapointe for $10 says, how many times do you think we'll hear about the guy's hand, which has nothing to do with the case? Absolutely. Like, unless the other guy did that to the case, to the hand, then it's not really relevant. Well, I mean, it could be. There's certain scenarios where it could be considered relevant, but I'm still roboting, am I? I don't know what is going on with this, man. I'm going to have to reset everything and start again when I come back on Monday. I'll be leaving here in a couple of hours, heading away to an event for the weekend. So, yeah, I'll get all this sorted out. Now, I need to take my oath of office. I've been informed by Chief Justice Colin here says, Irish Demon, repeat after me and say your name. I, Irish Demon, promise to not take shit seriously and to point and laugh at lol cows wherever we find them. So help me dog. And then I get to, I can't find my gavel, which is like a hammer, so I'm just using the drill instead because it's the closest thing that I can figure to a hammer, you know what I'm saying? Usually it's just a big wrench I use as a hammer if I can't actually find a hammer. But anyway, so my oath has been completed. I hope that helps everybody. Jim's Mind said, is this guy the mask? Somebody stop me. All right, let's get back to it. It's quite an interesting one. I actually quite like it. The guy's nuts. I think everybody's nuts except the judge here. Although Rasputin seemed pretty cool. But anyway. And I forgot to
white men pointing guns at apartment managers, etc. You can't fabricate these kind of allegations and have zero backup and proof for it. Everything that he has stated should have resulted in a conviction
Use an
for
axe.
felony charges. None were ever brought. None. He illegally accessed what he thought was my name through his position at UPS. Because if he had gone and done his due diligence, he would have found that this is who I am. This is who the state says I am. This is who the federal government says who I am. This is who the bank says who I am. This is the DA says who I am. And none of them are the person that he's alleging. So he scraped that. The term in his job as a bounty hunter is called scraping. It's illegal. And he scraped the wrong name.
I'll see if I can do it here or not. I'm not sure I can. I may have to step off for a minute. No, I'm not packing it up here. I'll step off here for a minute.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think
I do want to say one thing, though. And this is for what it's worth, there are non-white judges in Thurston County. And I'll just leave it at that.
I hope I can meet one. I need to meet one so they can find out what's been happening to me
Next door
consistently.
in Superior Court.
Thank you.
Round or roughly handled, didn't really appear that way to me. It just looks like somebody was dropping packages or putting packages where they need to go, which I think is a fairly common occurrence on a UPS truck. And I'm not too sure how to articulate it, but I'll take my best shot at it. I work at a job, you see what my job is, where everything's on the record and I'm recorded and videoed. You can see I'm videoed here right now, but if I just had a 9-to-5 job working somewhere, anywhere, and somebody showed up and started filming me, I'd be kind of concerned about that.
Damn
To
right.
the point where it might even weird me out. And so I don't think that Mr. Maloney or Mr. Calaveras have kind of an appreciation about that, particularly when you read about things in the newspaper. Sometimes UPS drivers getting accosted and so forth. So anyway, that's just
We've been
something that occurred
abducted
to
and
me as I
shot
heard
before,
that
Your
Mr.
Honor.
Voorhees, you just need to be quiet, please.
Yes, sir.
And so that's just something that occurred to me as I hear the testimony. And yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to make that observation.
Your Honor, if I may say something in response to that.
Go ahead.
I walked out of my apartment to find a person who had threatened to shoot and kill me. He had threatened to shoot and kill me when he was over at his apartment complex in that UPS uniform. I had no idea this man was going to be literal feet, 15 feet outside of my door, 20 feet outside of my door when I walked out that day. I had no idea that this individual was the driver. I thought it was very important because to me, he was following, it was as unhinged as he was in his uniform. Now he's over at my apartment. He's following up on that threat. And that's why he was filmed. And I did not film the witness film.
I know that. I know that. You provided commentary, though, which I did hear. How far away from you does he live? He said in that video, you said he lived at the other apartment complex.
Well, he lied and didn't even fully disclose
Take
where
care,
his address
control,
and
alt,
apartment
delete
number is. I have
laws.
no idea where he lives. He lives in a completely different complex.
More than
as he
25
stated,
feet?
Take that back.
Far more than 25 feet.
Great.
I've never been, other than when I walked out of the apartment, I've never been anywhere within 75 to 100 feet of this individual. He
Your
made the
Honor.
choice to come
That's
so
a
just-
very good point from Casey. Why would you go out looking for someone who said that they were going to
I
shoot you?
can't access where he lives without gate codes, etc. I've never been over to his apartment complex, but apparently it's his intent to continue coming to my apartment complex within 25 feet of where I live to perform the functions of his job, even though he's making death threats to individuals while performing his job in uniform.
All right.
And that is what started this whole thing. And this petulant, racist child can't deal with being held accountable by a non-white person who's saying, no, you cannot make death threats. You cannot do this to me.
So here's what's going to happen today. So I reviewed the petition, reviewed the exhibits, saw the video, saw the pictures. There's a number of pictures of Mr. Voorhees on his,
I thought it was silent.
yes, that's all right, don't worry about it. They always go off at the wrong time, don't they?
Yep.
I reviewed
I always
the
get
petition
weird
based
messages right in the
on,
middle of stuff.
I've listened to testimony between Mr. Voorhees and Mr.
Blackhawk color there.
Blackhawk Calaveras. Which is a great deal of conflict. I've also listened to the testimony of Mr. Maloney. Based on all the testimony, sometimes you just have to make conclusions. It's not uncommon for someone to walk out of court upset with me. But based on the testimony I've heard, combined with all the exhibits in the file, I am going to enter an order that says you're just not to contact Mr. Voorhees. There's not to come within 25 feet of his residence or place. And then again, I don't know whether or not you can have it in your particular job description or route where you're just not going to deliver to this place, but that's not, I'm not going to prohibit that, but that's, you might want to see if you could work that in with your office, but yeah, you're just not to contact him. You're not to come any harm, and you're not to come within, like I say, 25 feet of his residence or place of employment. Now, that order is going to exist for 1 year. I'm going to say a couple things about some other issues that were raised. There was the issue of firearms and things of that sort. I'm not going to enter a firearm restriction at this time. We don't enter firearm restrictions just because people have guns. When people use guns in the context of these cases, then yes, and then I would enter I would entertain a motion to restrict Mr. Calaveras' ability to own or possess firearms, but I don't think that based on the evidence, I didn't hear that occurred in this case. For the fact that I'm granting the petition in favor of Mr. Voorhees and will exist for 1 year, and that doesn't restrict your ability to make any complaints or any petitions or any filings or whatever you have. And this is a civil case, and it doesn't have anything you talk about. Well, there'd be felonies if all this happened. There'd be felonies. Well, not necessarily. It needs to be referred to the prosecutor. They need to decide to charge, and then you go forward from there. But based on the evidence presented, you're not to have any contact with Mr. Voorhees. Do you understand that? And I understand if you disagree with that. People disagree with things I do. It's not uncommon to have that happen.
Story
Can
of
you
my life.
explain to me what evidence you
Co-judge.
based this on?
The evidence was the testimony. People
The
swore
testimony of who?
of all three of you combined. I considered it all. And there was testimony, and as I said, the exhibits that were submitted.
Would you help assist me so I know next time? What is the best way to get a judge when a white person
pretty
threatens to shoot
sexy
you or
wig.
shoots you? What's the best way to get a restraining order? Because currently your judges, you're primarily overwhelmingly white judges, won't even give me a restraining order against the person that shot me.
I can't speak to that because I can't give you
With
advice.
others, you excluded gossip
okay,
and
let
hearsay.
me
And yet
say-
with this individual, you've allowed him to lie multiple times
Pimp
and not
down,
be able to
pimp
corroborate
down.
any evidence, any shred of evidence, Your Honor.
The
You
evidence that-
presented no evidence, Your Honor. Not a single thing. No description of my person.
Okay.
None, Your Honor. Can you describe what kind of dog I have, Your Honor?
So-
You didn't ask these questions. I've provided exact details, and yet you have not held him to the same standard.
Well,
You've allowed
Oh,
hearsay
shit.
and gossip.
all I can,
Allowed this white man to now be able to continue to threaten me and done nothing about it. Put the onus on the victim who initiated the complaint to stay away from someone who further pursued me, came to my apartment complex, right outside of my door, stole information out of mailboxes. You haven't even addressed, well, how did you get this name? How did the name, Your Honor? You never asked that question. How did he get that name if it's not my name, Your Honor?
are you going to let me speak?
I would like you to. I would have liked to have asked a great deal more questions.
So-
Yeah, well, you should have.
Held him to the same standard that I'm held to.
Well, he's the petitioner. You're the respondent. You are free to bring your own petition, and then you'll be held to the same standard. I don't know whether it's going to be in front of me or not. So you can bring whatever petition you like. But right now, as I said at the beginning, way back at the beginning, he's the petitioner. You're the respondent. That's the only case I'm going to decide here today. And
And so are you entering this against Isaac J. Hawks Ingress? Because that's who you brought into court.
no, I
Oh,
changed.
you're just going to change this?
Yes.
Because of the hearsay of someone who brought you the wrong.
It's not
information.
hearsay.
No, but now you gave me the right information.
But I'm
You-
not the person.
Doesn't
I
matter.
shouldn't even be in court unless the person had the right name. This is what white supremacy looks like.
White supremacy. Are you fucking kidding
And
me?
you have assisted in ensuring that the system of white supremacy continues to move forward.
Get the
and don't
fuck
get in
out of
trouble.
here. It's like, so what you're telling me is that because you can't go out there waving guns around at a guy, that's somehow white supremacy when, okay, he claims he's Native American or whatever. Fine, I get that. Fair enough. But that doesn't make what's happening here white supremacy. Just because you can't go out there with a fucking gun and harass this guy. It's ridiculous, man.
And if no one else calls you out on that this year, Your Honor, remember my face that I called you out. There should not be a double standard. Just
I think he's probably already forgotten his face by now. I'm just saying, like, I worked in the courts for a long time, man. You see a lot of crazies every single day. Now, I must say, I've never seen somebody come into court dressed as, Michael Jackson from Smooth Criminal, but like that's a face you generally probably would remember.
based on someone's skin color.
So I don't think I'll respond to it, to your comments in this way.
You asked no questions to make him prove his gossip or hearsay. You challenged him not a single time.
I swore him in. I heard his story. I
You
listened to
challenged him
his
not
story.
one single time.
I did the same to you. The evidence or the reasons that I did the order that I did was based on what was presented, and I just have to make credibility determinations. And then that's the order that I made. And that was based on the testimony in front of me here today.
The hearsay
You can
and
get a
gossip.
copy of the
It's
order.
not hearsay.
And then you're free to go.
It was direct evidence. Now, he did refer, excuse me, he did refer to some things that in a criminal trial you could call hearsay. It depends on the circumstances, right? So there's certain things that you would call hearsay and what was said there, like, some guy told me this thing, that's hearsay. But when you're in a restraining orders court, which is a civil court, my understanding, and of course I'm not a lawyer, I worked in restraining orders courts for a long time. I did study law for a year. So I'm by no stretch of the imagination a lawyer. I'm just a shitlord judge on the internet. No, not really. Just fucking around. But like, this is a civil matter. And so when it only becomes a criminal matter once it's violated, or if there's contempt or whatever, but it's a civil matter. So ultimately, the rules of evidence are much more lenient. Yeah. And that's it. Like this guy told me this thing, which put me in fear of my life, yada, yada, yada. And it still has to be weighed up. And there's like a scale. There's a scale of what evidence is acceptable and what evidence is strong, what evidence isn't, right? So, for example, this guy punched me. That's you're giving your testimony, which is evidence, as long as it's given under oath. You give your testimony, that is evidence. This is a video of this man punching me is also evidence, but that would arguably be stronger evidence than the testimony evidence. This guy told me that guy punched that guy is hearsay, which can be allowed in this particular case, but then it's taken with a lot less weight because the direct kind of element of that evidence isn't there. So yes, they can all be taken into evidence. It doesn't mean that everything's given the same weight. Every piece of evidence is given different weight. Different videos are given different weight because you could have different angles, different perspectives, the quality of the video, which I understand mine is shit right now, that kind of thing. So, it just depends on the scenario. So anyway, that was an unusual one. That was a very unusual one. We'll watch it out to the end here, but I just wanted to throw in a few words about it first. So there's a few really interesting things here. And it goes to a few different kind of topics. So the guy that got the order, the guy in the bottom left, so he was a bit upset that the other dude came out filming him. If he's in public, he can film him. That's just the way it is. It depends on how it's done, fair enough. And it can, veer into the area of harassment if it was, continuous and all this kind of stuff. There's a whole load of ways that it could be. But generally, if a guy's standing out on the street doing his job or whatever, and you pull out a camera and film him, that's legal. You might not agree with that, but it's legal. And I would argue, and I've said this before, and I know some people shit on me for saying it, and that's fine. I'd argue that it should be legal. It should be safe for you to go out and film people. But where it kind of changes is when you're going out there harassing people just to get a reaction, like some people. But if you are just out there and you go, okay, I want to film this guy for whatever reason, you have every right to do so. So that was the first thing. Then it seemed to have escalated from there. Now, FBI surveyor says he was filming out of fear. No, I'm pretty sure. Am I not mistaken? I might be mistaken on this one. But was it not Hackeye that was filming the guy in the bottom left? No, I may be wrong. I may be absolutely wrong on that. I accept that if I'm wrong. But anyway, yeah. So it's just a really interesting case. Obviously, the smooth criminal looking dude is pretty out there. He seems to be a little bit unusual and whatever, maybe a bit neurodivergent or whatever you kind of want to call it, to be nice about it. Mad as a bag of feckin' cats, I would say, is probably the more old school, the more somewhat, the guy in the lower right was filming. My apologies. But likewise, he's got every right to do that as well. And especially for his own protection. I always say you should. In that scenario. Same with cops. If you get pulled over or whatever, yeah, film. Fucking A. Don't make a big song and dance about it. You don't need to go make a YouTube channel about it. Just record it for your own safety. Shit happens. I've seen videos of cops being filmed while I was in the courts in Australia. Cops doing things that they shouldn't be fucking doing. So yeah, absolutely. I learned from experience there. You absolutely should. Fuck off. Telling me to get my facts straight. I'm the fucking judge. But anyway, yeah, so it's a really interesting little case. You got one guy in the bottom left. I don't know how I took it. He seemed to kind of blow things up a little bit, I think. But then again, it's fair enough to suggest that if a guy's coming out there and he's, quite violent or whatever, then anyway, yeah, we'll see. Top Troll says, if they make a YouTube, hold on, let me see. If they make a YouTube channel about it, it'll give you more content to leech. You're fucking damn right about that. You are damn right about that. And I'll enjoy every fucking minute of it. Every single minute of it. Because God forbid somebody would use their right to free speech to point out that they don't like what somebody else is doing. or how they would do it differently, or just straight up fucking laugh at people like you. And we love doing it, and we'll keep doing it. You can be damn sure about that. Damn sure about that. Anyway, so we got Greg Edmond for $2 says Northwest natives wear hats often. Yeah, so at the start of the case here, he said that the reason he was wearing a hat in court was for religious purposes. And then I saw people asking, you know, what native group's religion dictates that they have to wear a hat. He may not have his native group's religion. So he might be a native person who has a different religion. Do you know what I mean? And there's people born and reared in Ireland who are Muslim or some other, you know, foreign religion that wouldn't be kind of native to Ireland or whatever. So that, you know, you just need to bear that in mind too. I think it's probably a load of bollocks just to be dramatic or whatever, but you know, you got to kind of take that on its merits. You know, if a guy says it's for religious reasons, then, you know. Top Troll says your feet still dangle when you sit in your chair. I'm nearly 6 foot tall. I'm not too bothered about what some random on the internet says. It's just kind of fun to bring it up on the screen and point it out and have a laugh off it. Yeah, so here's the thing. It's now 5:15 in the evening. You're probably going to go on to another channel that you don't like and be butthurt about it. You know what I'm going to do? In about 45 minutes, I'm going to jump on my Harley and drive up through the mountains with all my friends and go party for the whole weekend. So I'm not too bothered that you think I'm really, really small. I'm very comfortable in my height. You know, I'm looking forward to tearing up through the mountains, fucking wig blowing in the wind, thinking about Top Troll and how angry he is. I'm sorry that it makes you angry that I have free speech. It's a shame. I always find it very funny how all these free speech activists absolutely hate free speech in every single way. Judy for $5 says he claims he is an American Indian and the hat is for religious reasons. Yeah, absolutely. And as I say, like he could be both, right? So it could be a case that he is, as I said, Native American, but also have a religion that's not native to his group or whatever. It could be some made up religion too, which he's got every right to do. In the United States, you know, you can have whatever religious views you want. So it could be that too. We got Top Troll says, man, you're insecure. I was talking about Chile. Oh, okay. Oh, that's fair enough. If you're talking about Chile, then that's probably true because that's factually accurate, right? He is, I mean, like, he's not like crazy short or anything, but short enough that, you know, if you say he's short, you kind of go, yeah, he's on that spectrum for sure. What else have we got? Thank you so much. The lovely Laurie says, love you, Irish Demon. Thank you very much indeed. I really enjoyed today. It was just nice, chill. It's a bit of fun. I really like. Hey, OSG in the house says, sounds like a hella fun weekend. Harley's in the woods. Awesome. Love the wig, bud. Thank you so much, man. I spotted this video come up the other day. I watch every single one of your videos, every single one of them. I drive a lot on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and so I always have it on my phone in the car, and I just listen away. It's great. The great thing about OSG's channel that a lot of people would like that they maybe don't particularly like about my channel, because I talk a lot. That's what I do. I'm a talker. OSG doesn't. Well, not that I'm aware of. I think maybe before, but what OSG does that I absolutely love is they just play the video through and then bring up kind of subtitles on it and give some information and give some kind of background and things there. So it's really good. I really like it. It's such a great channel. So everybody head on over to OSG. Let them know I sent you. It's a lot of work. I can confirm. It's sitting through watching courts all day. It's fun, but I gotta tell you, it can be quite stressful actually, especially somebody who worked in the courts for years. It's kind of hard to sit down and watch court videos all day long. Faux something or other, I don't know who that is, says real boring over here without me, huh? Kidding, Ob. Yeah, Ob. Kidding. We got, who else we got? Oh, yeah, jammy bugger, yeah. Bobby Williams says, I ride a Super Glide. That's going to be my next bike, I think. I'm going to be keeping the Softail. So I've got the Softail outside. I love the bike, right? It's a great bike. It is a lot of fun, loads of power, really nimble. The problem is it for long rides, for the really long rides, it's not the best bike in the world because my bike's set up like full chopper mode, like got the 16-inch ape hangers with a 4-inch riser, got the low profile seat, the low profile back, and the big long forward controls. So I'm like stretched out proper like chopper style, which is so much fun and it's really comfortable. But over long distance, it actually gets really, really uncomfortable. So I'm going to probably get either a glide. I'll either get like I'm thinking I might get a street glide because just it's a bit more nimble and stuff like that, or maybe an ultra. My buddy has an ultra that he's thinking of selling, so I might get the ultra. We'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, Bobby, absolutely. That's one thing I got to say for anybody who does ride. Just take it easy out there, man. Enjoy the ride, not the slide. And yeah, that's the thing. Like when you're out on the road as much as I am on the bike, like I get out on the bike all the time. I try to get out most days of the year. And when I do, I enjoy every single minute of it. And that's so important. I love being on YouTube and doing all that stuff. But sometimes it's good to just disconnect for a few hours. And I'm so lucky where I live as well. It's like just hills and vales and mountains and rolling roads. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful here. So I'm very, very, very blessed to live where I do. So it's a great place to ride. It's an absolutely awesome place to ride. And it's a beautiful country to live in too for riding. The only thing, some of our back roads are pretty bad. But Top Troll says, real men ride a Dyna, or as I like to call them, a Vidina. No, Dyna's a great bike. Dyna's one of my best mates has just got a Dyna recently. He's been absolutely loving it. And I took it out for a few rides. The thing I'd say is they're quick. They're really quick because they're so light and nimble. They're a lot of fun to ride. They really are. But I'm a pretty big dude. So I'm kind of aiming more towards my bike at the moment, that style, that kind of Chicano style. Or else maybe, as I say, I might get an Ultra or something. We'll see. So we'll figure that all out. All right, I'm gonna be getting out of here in just a minute. So because I do have to go and get ready and get the bike set up and TTU baby IDA. Let me get those 4-leaf lucky clovers. I'll be super safe out there. I always do. I take it really easy on the bike. And we ride in a huge group, so sorry about that. I pressed something. Thank you very much. I shall ride very safe. I always do. I genuinely do. Now at times I might ride a little bit fast. It just depends. It depends on where you go. If you're on the big open road, it's not too bad, but we'll see how it goes. John says Road King Road Glide Ultra Classic. I have a 2011 Road Glide, beautiful bike. I think they look great. The thing with the Road Glide that I don't like, I think it's the Road Glide, is that when you turn the bars, the fairing stays in place. And it reminds me of those really old Hondas, not like before the CX500s and stuff, where the fairing stays in place. It's weird to me. I don't know what it is, but I think they're great bikes. Or like the big CVOs or something. The bike I really want, if I had the money, I'd buy one. Is the one that I would probably go for now as just my nipping around bike, my bar hopper bike will be a Breakout. I would love a Breakout. I like top of the line Breakout. And as much as I know a lot of Harley guys hate them, a V-Rod muscle, full blacked out with all the extras, that's a cool bike, man. That's a cool bike. I will ride super safe. Absolutely. I always do. Because I want to be able to go out and ride again. That's the thing. So yeah, I've heard that actually, John, that the fairing does take a bit of getting used to. Because you're expecting it to move with the handlebars, like the street glides, and you're just kind of like, whoa, what the fuck? Takes a minute. But I do think they're a beautiful looking bike though. I'd love a big, as I call it, a big soft Harley. The one with the Zimmer frame holders on them. Because I want to stick a little trailer on it and head around America. The plan is, all going well, in March, I'm going to be heading out to America for maybe a month or two. I haven't decided just yet. And I've got a buddy that's got he's got a few Harleys actually, and he's going to give me a loan of one for a few weeks while I'm out there. So I might ride around America. I haven't decided yet. It depends on what the weather's like. Cindy King has got a 2008 Sportster. I just sold one, believe it or not, 2008. I love Sportsters. Great bike, so much fun. Baby Dynas, they're awesome. Just got one from my buddy. Went and picked it up a couple of months ago. It was 2003 100-year anniversary Sportster. My bike is the 100-year anniversary Softail, so they've got the same color and stuff. It looks really, really cool when they're next to each other. But he's got his done up club style, which I didn't think was going to work at first, but it looks great. It looks absolutely great. So yeah, I'm planning on going for a trip around the eastern states first, maybe for a month or whatever. I'm not gonna worry too much about the dates. I'm gonna just kind of take my time and see how we go. And yeah, do a bit of cruising around there and see how we go. Probably head down to Pennsylvania. I've got some videos planned over there. Kind of in the works at the moment. It's not set in stone yet. Certainly not the dates. Looking at either going to New York or Boston for the St. Patrick's Day parade, or maybe Chicago. It might. I think Chicago's in the lead right now for the Paddy's Day parade because it's supposed to be epic in Chicago. So I think I might go there. Oh wait, yeah, no, I should have said I probably won't be riding the motorcycle up around the Northeast. I'll probably be keeping that for down around Texas and stuff like that. We'll see. I need to do a bit more research first. I'd love to go to Bike Week in Florida, and I really, really want to go to what's it called? Jeez, my brain isn't working, guys. I'm so tired. What's that big bike show in Massachusetts? Not Massachusetts, in Michigan. Oh my God, my brain, man. Guys, help me out here. Sturgis, thank you so much. A lot of my buddies, a few of them have been to Sturgis quite a few times, and they said it's absolutely astonishingly good. The other place that I've got to go on my next trip to America, the plan is I really want to go up to Milwaukee and go to the old Harley center there. There's a few places I want to hit up. It's going to be a lot of fun. I was like, I thought it's not Michigan, no? Is Sturgis not in? I thought Sturgis was in Michigan, no? Where is Sturgis? Anybody able to help me here? Boss Hog. My buddy has a Boss Haas, which is like this outrageous V8 motorcycle. It's really, really cool. Oh, there is a Sturgis in Michigan, but it's not the bike one. Oh, it's South Dakota, of course. I have the t-shirt, man. I think I have the t-shirt on. Nope, I don't. Sorry. I thought I had the Sturgis t-shirt on. Somebody gave me one recently. I should have known that, actually. That's a good point. I don't know America that well. I know it a little bit. But anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to going out there. Alana reckons I should go to Boston. I don't know. I've heard the Boston Paddy's Day Parade is really good. So I'm not in a conversation right now. A buddy of mine's in a conversation with the people who run the Emerald place, whatever that's called, the Emerald Club in Boston, which is like the kind of Irish heritage club there. So it depends on how things go with them right now. So it'll either be Boston or Chicago. I'm leaning more towards Chicago, to be honest, though, because I think it'd be really, really cool. The other place that I'm looking into getting some kind of videos going with is Ellis Island in New York. So I've been kind of reaching out to them, having a chat with a few of those guys there. And that'll all be for my new channel, which is The Lost Irishman. So I'll be traveling around a fair few places, the UK, Europe, the US, Canada. A few different places that I'll be traveling around to and doing some really interesting stuff. I'm really excited to do it as well. It's going to be a dream come true for me because something I've always wanted to do. But oh, excuse me. My whole head is completely like blocked up from this hay fever. It's absolutely driving me crazy, man. I don't get it that often. Like it's like once every few weeks I get a little bout of it, but it's all good. Nicky Smallboy has become a YouTube channel member. Thank you so much indeed. Cara Fate reckons St. Patrick's Day in Boston. Yeah, I mean, I might do. We'll see how that goes. What do you guys reckon? Give me a 1 for Boston, a 2 for New York, or a 3 for Chicago over by there. It's a toss-up. It depends on who gets back to me first. Let me see here now. Oh, that's a nice bike though, Captain 3D. You probably call it a girl's bike, but I'd love a Bergman 650. Bergman 650, cool bike. Very comfortable, apparently. And who reckons? Did I say 1 for Boston? I can't remember. Whoops. Well, I think it was 1 for Boston, 2 for New York, and 3 for Chicago. We'll see. Faux Shizzle reckons there is so much to do in Boston. I've never been there. I was supposed to go there last time, but it just didn't work out time-wise and stuff like that. And yeah, Sons of Anarchy. No, they're not real, as far as I'm aware. I'm sure that I've seen people wear the gear or whatever, but anyway. It looks like I think Chicago's winning. A 4 for Canada. I've heard the Paddy's Day parades in Canada are pretty good, are they? There's a lot of Patricks, a lot of Paddies over there. Do I know a Jax Teller? Jax Teller. I don't, that I'm aware of. No, I don't. Let me see here now. Boston's winning. Don't lie. I don't know. Is it? It's kind of hard to tell. I think Chicago is winning. I really want to go to Chicago though. It'd be a pretty cool place. I'll be getting out of here in a minute though, because I got to do some work and I got to hit the road real soon before it gets too dark. I saw more 1s than 3s. So it looks like Boston. Do you know the other reason I wanted to go to Boston is because it's so close to like New York and all the other places. So it's easy to kind of go to all these cities and states that I want to check out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Let me see here now. He won't come to Boston because he's scared of me. Oh yeah, I forgot you lived in Boston actually. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to take Boston off the list, I think, because she is a very, very scary lady. Take body armor if you go to Chicago. Yeah, I've heard people call it Chirac. Bob says South Boston is the only place to be on St. Patrick's Day. Oh, so like not in the city? Chicago dyes the river green for Saint, I don't know what that word is, day. It's Patty. We don't say Patty. Full Shizzle says Chicago's gotten really bad. Yeah, I've heard that. I have heard that. But then again, you wonder how much of that is just bad press or whatever. But yeah, I've heard that there's a lot of problems. Dr. Vegetable says Boston's winning regardless of what the numbers say. Are you down in Boston too? Boston. The other reason that I was thinking of Boston as well was because of there's a lot of Irish heritage there, obviously, and going there on Paddy's Day and filming some videos for my new channel, it kind of goes along with what the channel's all about. So maybe, or I might just do New York. Actually, that would make more sense because if I did New York, then I can do Ellis Island in the same week, and that way I'm not kind of, traveling around too much for nothing. Oh, South Boston is in Boston. Oh, it's in. Oh, okay. Now I get it. Don't believe everything. Oh, damn it. Don't believe everything you read about Chicago. Still a great city to visit. I've heard, and the food is supposed to be amazing there. Lolly reckons New York. We'll see. We will see. I haven't decided anything yet. I'm going to try to be over there for as long as I can. Like, as long as I can feasibly be there, just because it'll be a lot of fun. And I've got a lot that I really, really want to do over there. Like I want to go to Pennsylvania to meet the Amish people over there. I got some great footage. I got some great footage of myself with the Amish in Ohio and in Kentucky, and it was fantastic. However, there was a massive issue with the card and it corrupted some of the sound. So I'm not sure how that is going to work out, but it was good practice and they were awesome people. So really, really excited for that. Detroit, I've never been there either. I'm trying to think how many states I've been in the US. I've been in a state of constant drunkenness over there for a little while. I've been in, let me see. I've been in Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina. I've been in Kentucky. I've been in Ohio. I've been in West Virginia. I'm sure there's somewhere else. Pretty sure there's somewhere else. But anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. State of Constant Sorrow. Oh, I love that song. It's one of my favorites. You should come to South Carolina. I have actually been, I think. It says, oh, damn it. It won't come up. Come on, man. What's wrong with my computer? Many of the Amish, the old order, don't like to be filmed. Oh, yeah, no, I've got something in the works at the moment. A friend of mine that lives over there is going to be helping me out with some of that. It's going to be a lot of fun. State of panic. I've only ever had one situation where I felt panicked in the US. That was the time that I got stopped by the cops on the interstate because I was walking on the interstate. I didn't know I was on the interstate. And I tried to explain what happened, and they were cool. They were cool about it. Didn't give me any shit for it. So there's at least there's that. They had a bit of a laugh at my expense, but I think I was only in the airport in one of the Carolinas anyway. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, I can't remember which one it was. It was good crack. Let me see here now. Clash with Bao called you a content leech earlier. That's where I got that comment from. I don't believe him though. Okay, I appreciate that. I don't know who that is. Clash with Bao. I'll have a look. Hold on. Give me 1 sec here now. I need to keep an eye on the time though, because I got to get out of here real soon. Clash with Bao, is it? B-A-O. Let's see. Where was it? Is it in a video he said it or what? Oh, he has had a video up for a very long time. It always amazes me how somebody can have so many subscribers and so few views. But then again, I suppose it's a lot of it's recent stuff he hasn't uploaded in a while. Maybe it's all live. Or they done all live stuff. Oh no. No, I hadn't seen that channel before. I think it's been off my radar. Oh, what's wrong with the car? Okay, so we got it back yesterday, obviously, and we were digging around in it for ages. We got it started, and then it shit itself again. So it turns out it was. So the issue was to do with the starter motor was gone, and so was the fuel pump. So it was like you were screwed either way. Even if you could get fuel through the system, you weren't going to get it started. That was bigger than you think. Live streamer. Yeah, no, I had a look at his channel right now. It seems like he hasn't streamed in 8 months and hasn't put up a video in 11 months. That's a shame when you see a channel that big and they haven't put stuff up. Like, I don't know, is he an auditor or what? But like, I don't have any comment on the guy because I haven't watched his stuff. There's some auditors that I don't mind, so you know, it just depends. Bao respects the leeches. Fair enough. Fair enough. So let me see. Bao does all lives. I don't know what that means, but thank you very much indeed. He doesn't leave his lives up. Ah, okay, that makes sense. All right, but that's fair enough. I will try to catch one at some point and see what the deal is. He can say whatever he likes about me. That's absolutely his right. And I'll have a good time over here doing what I'm doing. And he can go have a good time doing what he's doing. I haven't watched any of his stuff, so I'm not going to throw any shade on the guy. But apparently he's an obnoxious twit. Oh, maybe I will then. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, folks, I'm going to get the flock out of here once I read these super chats here. Oh, yeah, I already read that one from Jim's Mind. That was brilliant. Shade 2 for $2 says, email address, please, irishdemonvids@gmail.com. That runs through a third party, just so you guys know. At the moment, it kind of has to be checked because of everything that's going on. So every email is scanned and all that kind of thing. So, because anyway, long story. Right, where was I at? Oh yeah, Tom, thank you so much for $10. Says, glad you come to America again. Thank you so much indeed. I'm really looking forward. It's good. I really enjoy the US. I had a lot of fun over there, and with some great people too. It was really good fun. Met up with some auditors and stuff over there as well. Mixture of everybody. It It was a lot of fun. I really had a great time. The next time is going to be even more fun. I can guarantee you that. Rita Joe for $5 says, I would love to see you in Chicago with a Law Talk with Mike. That would be so funny. That would be a bar hopping fest and a blast to see. The only problem is if I meet up with Law Talk with Mike, he's going to end up making me drink this stuff. Jepson's Malort. It is horrific. I don't know how Chicago people can drink that stuff. Like, the other stuff from Chicago was lovely. The Jardiniere, the sports peppers, all that stuff. Oh, it was fantastic. And then he springs that shit on me. All right. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here because I have to go and get ready. I haven't got much time left. And yeah, we'll catch you all at some stage anyway. I've got no outro again, which is great news. But I'm going to get all that shit sorted soon. Have a good one, folks. Have a great weekend. And I'll probably see you all on Monday. We'll see how we go. Sláinte.